Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm doing for these readings, the 2016 highlights, and an overview of January. I have here 3 decks and the Virasibila decks. I'll be taking the Neapolitans as well, should I need that. And the first deck is the Casanova deck. The second deck is what the Italians call the universal deck. In essence, it's an artistic version of the Rider-Waite with the writing in Italian. And the last deck is the Alexander Egorov Golden Edition Tarot. Now, and of course, this is the Virasibila cards, and as you can see, this is a very brilliant version, a very bright artistic version of the Virasibila smaller cards, and they'll be new for the new year. New. Okay, now I'm going to take 3 areas: sex and love, friends and extended family, and finance or activity. Of course, as you know, you ask questions and the tarot will tell you other things. For example, with the Casanova deck, I'm aiming for sex and love. With the Rider-Waite, friends and extended family, and with the Alexander Egorov tarot deck for the finances. However, I have found that especially these two, the Rider-Waite and the Egorov, mix and match. So when that is the case, we'll talk about that. And then I take 3 cards, 1 from each deck for the month of January specifically, and highlight with the Virasibila and, if I need it, the Neapolitan deck. So here we go. Hi Leo, this is your extended reading for just a peek really into 2016. I've pre-shuffled my decks here, and so I'm going to fan them out and pick 3 cards from the Casanova tarot, three cards from what is called here in this country the Universal Tarot deck, which is an Italian version of the Rider-Waite, Italian art more than anything. And 3 cards from the Alexander Egorov Tarot, the Golden Edition. Oops. Ooh, start throwing things around here. Okay. All right, now. I saw them first come out, and they're very, very serious. These 3 Casanova cards, very interesting power, very energy. The energy is very powerful. There's the Ace of Swords. We have the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Now, they both are masked, and one with a white and one with a black. There definitely is here not opposing. Well, in the best of all worlds, we could say a ménage à trois, you know. But there are energies where there are more than one person in your life. And in 2016 will be the moment that, the moment of truth. And I would have expected the Lover's card to come out, the choice, but it hasn't. It hasn't in any of these decks. And know that there are 2 energies there. Perhaps even one of the people that you're not interested in, but they are They have their energy focused on you. And, for some reason, I'm not getting an energy of happiness. It's as if Leo friends, it's as if there is something that needs to be decided, but you're not ready. You're just not ready yet. And, we'll take the Sibylla on that. And then we have this lovely deck here. There's the Five of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Strength card. This is for the extended family and the immediate family and the friends. What this is telling me is that you have some regrets, of course. There's some things that you did with respect to this circle that you're not very happy about. But know that you'll be able to make amends in the year 2016 with a coming, the Strength card speaks to you specifically. And you need to come into that strength that is characteristic of the Leo sign in order for this to come about and leave those regrets behind. Then we have the area of finance and your livelihood and how you make your money and how you spend it, really. And we have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Now, isn't it interesting that we have two kings and two queens, and they're mirroring each other? They are different, all right? There's the King of Cups, and there is the Queen of Cups. There's also the Queen of Swords. Someone walks away. And there's the King of Wands. Now, of course, I talked about finance here, but it's not, life is just not as neat as that, and these areas do spill over into each other. They're not really finite, but this is telling me that it conditions your place of work. Many of you have entertained a relationship within the context of your work, and many of you are ready with this Queen of Swords to start walking away. But there is with respect to, since they are mirroring each other, what I'm hearing here is that the Nine of Swords is creating you a lot of difficulty. You are not enjoying that extra person in your life. There's choices to be made here. And 2000s, like I said, I don't have the Lover's card. Let's see what, and so it tells me that maybe you're not poised to make those changes and choices. Let's take the Vita Sibylla cards that I have also pre-shuffled and pull them out over these three Casanova to get a clarification. All right, what are they telling me with the two kings and the ace of swords? All right, there's the stanza, the room, and this talks to news coming in shortly as well. And the dog, fedeltà, fidelity. And this is, typical of you, Leo. This is a measure of your success as lovers and success as being in the limelight of love. And this talks to your finances. And again, I tend to think that there are a lot of you who have love on the job. And it could be either your companion or the other person. And this Gran Consolazione talks about positive outcomes in the emotional realm for the year 2016, because you're poised to gain both economically and romantically, emotionally by being faithful. Now, be that as it may, there's no one here telling you what to do, but we're just reading the cards, all right? So let's say that this is what came out. That's my message. Let's take the Vera Sibila on these three here. The finance realm, where the two queens are, and the Nine of Swords. All right, we have here the child, bambino, the enemy, the male enemy, nemico, and pensiero, thoughts. What are they trying to tell us with this this card, the simpleness, the simple nature of the beginning of candor? You know, it's talking about a simplicity, and of course, simplicity in knowing that there may, you know, take the very simple route out. That's what it's talking about. And face the difficult person or energy that is working against you. There's something in your domain of finances and workplace that is working against you that you need to face up to. And the thought, this is you coming out with an ingenious solution as to that problem. You're conceiving a great notion as to how to put an end to that, how to solve those issues. Now, this is interesting for the year. Their energies more than anything else, and there are some, hard-boiled facts as well here. But now let me take one card each from these decks for the month of January to see how we kick off the month, how we kick off the year, Leo. Okay. All right. We have very wonderful card. All right. We have the wheel. All right. This is a building in Venice. This is considered the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords. Where was she, the Queen of Swords? There she is. Two Queens of Swords. There's something coming to an end. Someone's leaving. Someone's going. Someone's changing. Someone's about to move. If this is you, this is an excellent moment for that. The Chariot. The Chariot. This is an excellent moment. These are movement cards. These are with the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot together. This is the Queen of Swords. If that's you, it's time to make that move. If it's not you, praise the Lord. Herald in the change because you're going to stand to benefit. Let me take the Vera Sibila on this. Okay, now this is the disgrazia, the house on fire, disaster, and malinconia, nostalgia, melancholy, and the old lady, vecchia signora. Now, what are they telling me? With respect to your taking the decision or walking away if it's you, or accepting the change, if you don't, there will be inevitably negative events that follow your lack of choice, your lack of decision. But no matter what, right, and this is the middle card, there will be, you'll be damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're going to have that feeling of nostalgia, something coming to an end, which is a logical feeling, a normal feeling, a human feeling. The Vecchia Signora, she counsels us. She's telling us that to help you and to help matters, even before your decision or after, in order any help that you can, where you will find help in the month of January, is by changing your context, going on a brief vacation, brief trip, going to visit a friend, talking to people you know, going outward. This is going to help you. Let me take the Neapolitan cards. Okay, Now, what are they saying here? They're the Page of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. They're speaking to the strength that a bond will have once you make a decision and you move, and how you will be rejuvenated. You will come into your own once you face that situation head on and clear the air as it needs to be cleared. Should this situation be protracted into the year, remember what the cards have suggested to you. And I think that you'll understand how to move during the year 2016. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Leo friends. Thank you so much for your support during the year 2015. I really, truly appreciate it. And have a great new year. And until we meet again, until we read again. Bye-bye, Leo.